My name is Sophia Testimonial. I am an AmeriCorps alum. I served in the 2020-2021 service year. Since leaving that program, I am now the Little Beaver Creek Watershed Coordinator at Columbiana Soil and Water. So for this position, I work with other agencies to manage the water quality in the watershed. We do have the hellbender in some forks of our watershed, so we're really excited about that. And then we also do easement projects and conservation plans, and we are working on some environmental education for our residents as well. I would say my favorite moment during my service year was when we were out sampling with a staff member from ODNR. We were doing macroinvertebrate sampling and fish sampling, and we were out with, so it was myself, another member, a former member, and then Marissa. And I just learned so much that day, just watching them interact with the water and learning about acid mine drainage and the seeps, and even learning different fish because I hadn't learned that before. It was, those field days were my favorite of my whole entire service year. I think the biggest thing I took away from that was that you can engage people by educating them. And once you educate them, they care. So my learning about fish and macros is something I can teach to someone else. And then my knowledge of water quality is something I can keep teaching and teaching until everyone cares and everyone is ready to do something. So after I finished my year of service with Rural Action, I went into the year of service with NowCorps and I served in Summit County. So NowCorps and Rural Action provide the only two conservation-focused AmeriCorps programs in our state. And when NowCorps was looking at planning a National Day of Service, we were looking at parts of Ohio that maybe needed assistance, and we realized that the perfect place to bridge the gap between our programs was, in fact, Tuscarawas County, where I had served previously. And we also knew there were some underserved communities in Tuscarawas County where we could do a hard to recycle item day for them, as well as a planting at a nursing home, and just, like I said, match those services and bring our groups together. And it was very fun and productive day. I would say that by offering these services to these historically underserved communities, we're offering capacity because a lot of times people are inheriting environmental and economic issues that aren't their fault, but they're sort of trapped under. So by listening to them and their needs and then helping them, we can help them have a better future. During my time as an AmeriCorps member with Rural Action, I also spent some of my volunteer time with the Norma Johnson Center, which is a park and education center in Tuscarawas County. And that was really impactful for me personally, because in addition to doing Rural Action's work, Rural Action was able to help another group grow and educate even more children and adults about environmental issues. My favorite memory at the Norma Johnson Center was actually during my training. So myself and the director went out in one of the wetlands just to see what animals were there. And we were actually out in one of those paddle boats. You paddle with your feet. And we saw a salamander and got so excited that we almost tipped out of the boat and into the wetlands. And we ended up making it back. And it was a very exciting day because that was a former AMD site. So to see a salamander in there was really powerful, like when you think about the water quality and everything like that. My time with Rural Action took me from graduating from college and not really knowing what I wanted to do, to being empowered to doing a second year of service and then establishing my career in conservation, especially in water quality and watershed management. So something that I heard a lot during my time with Rural Action was that their goal was to send their members to every part of Ohio so that we do have this network of, friends and colleagues to draw on. I'm very happy to call my former supervisors my friends, and I think it makes a huge difference when you're working in these historically underserved communities and you can call on another friend who knows their background, knows their history, and is ready and willing to help you. My hope for the future is that we can take a watershed and forestry approach to solving climate change, and I think that my generation in particular is the generation to do that. So my goal in every job I've had since my term and will have is to just increase that capacity and stay passionate and keep working.